Hello, hello.
Hi.
There.
Hey, no video, only audio?
Hold on. Let me turn that on. Where is that at? There it
Oh,
is.
right there.
Hold, please. Doesn't
Huh.
want to work. Hold on. Maybe you have to stop recording for us to.
No, what does that say? The bottom one.
Okay, I can see.
Oh, all right.
Oh, you said, wait.
No, he sees. It's
There we go. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so let's start with the fact that we saw you in Poland quite recently, and what it concert it was because you played with Fear Factory and Machine Head. So how did
Yeah.
you feel after playing such a concert?
I mean, that was probably the biggest audience that we'd play to for like like a show, as opposed to like a festival. Um, the energy there was really amazing. Like people were super excited for the show. We went out afterwards as well, and we like to go to like where the merch is and meet people and sign stuff or take photos or whatever. And it was a really nice welcome that we received there, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a kind of a new crowd for us. It was our first time in Poland, and also that Machine Head crowd like is a little bit more like metal than a typical Frail crowd. But it was a great experience. The venue was amazing. Poland is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the merch crew that was running that, we ended up seeing them again at another
Mm.
festival directly after that, and it was just like instant friends, and I don't know, it was a great
Yeah,
experience.
for sure.
And now we're getting your new album, and the first two were released under the Aqualamp Records, and Heretic and Lullabies is your Napalm Records debut. So how did you end up under the wings of this label?
They reached out to us over a year ago, and it just happened to be at the right time when we were trying to figure out what we were going to do for our next record. We didn't know if we were going to do it ourselves, if we were going to, we're probably going to work with Laybear again in Europe, which was our first label we ever worked with, but we really didn't know. It was like up for conversation, and just one morning we got an email from Sebastian, and then our manager has worked with Napalm a lot in the past, and it just kind of went from there. And now it's like can't imagine not having Napalm because they're such a great label, a great team. We speak with them on a daily basis right now, leading up to the release. So it's been awesome.
Revolver magazine called you a band to watch, and so did Knotfest. Are such titles just like additional motivation, something nice to hear? Or did this actually translate into increased interest in the band?
Um, I don't know. I guess you might have to ask Napalm that. For us, it's exciting to see that people are picking up on what we're doing, and it's we don't really fit into any genre, right? So it's kind of hard to label us as one thing or another, which makes it, I guess, more difficult for press or maybe new fans to latch onto. But that being said, it's been kind of cool to see the growth and see the response of like, I don't know what they are, but we just like it, right? So it's kind of cool.
And you have basically built your own brand yourself. You are responsible for the photos, for the entire image, for the music videos. Have you never wanted to anyone to look at Frail from a different perspective?
Um, well, so Gwen and I both went to fashion school, and so we were both trained to express ourselves visually. So when it comes to the band, the music is first, but we don't feel like it's complete until we have another itch to scratch creatively. Like we have to get our visual expression out there too. And I think that's just where Frail is right now is like an organic progression of us just sort of coming up with ideas and whatever sticks whatever sticks around we like. And there's lots of ideas we have that are not good that don't no one ever sees, but it's kind of just like our thing so far. We are ironically, you asked this question, we are doing a video shoot tonight where we shot half the video ourselves, but this is the first time we're letting a major production company shoot some stuff for us. So it'll be interesting to see what that experience is like. I'm kind of excited in a way not to have to hold a camera for once and just worry about performing. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so far it's been totally us.
So, what the song you choose for this video?
Uh,
So is this one is Souvenirs of Your Betrayal. So that's a song that I think it's one of those songs that isn't an instant, you don't hear it and think, oh my God, immediately, like, this is a single. But it is a song that has kind of, I guess, haunted Sean and I. And we can't seem to get it out of our head, and we think that for us, it's a very strong, heartbreaking song, and we really wanted it to get a little bit more attention because it is a very special song for the two of us.
Yeah, and Napalm, with their YouTube channel and that big platform they have, they'll probably take as many videos as we give them. And since we like the visual expression, we'll probably just keep shooting videos.
Yeah.
And Aaron Chaparian was the producer on Heretics and Lullabies. So why did you choose him? What did he bring to the world of FRAYLE? Because after all, you, Sean, had previously filled that role.
Yeah, so that's a great question. I was apprehensive at first to bring a producer in. Our manager was suggesting it, Gwen was suggesting it. But it's hard to let go of control. So we actually talked to a few producers ahead of time, some of whom have done very big projects. But it just like the vibe didn't feel right. And then we talked to Aaron and we hit it off right away. He seemed like,
He got what we were trying to do.
yeah,
He understood the assignment.
yeah. And it was incredible. Like we went to New Jersey where he shares a studio space with his colleague Shane Stanton, who is just an amazing drum engineer. So we recorded drums for a week, and then we brought the drums back, or the recordings back here, and we finished the vocals and guitars and bass in our own studio, and then just sent Aaron the tracks, and I didn't mix it. So we got to just sit back and listen to not only his mixing and how what he was able to do with keeping the drums sounding organic, which is something that was very important to me to have it sound like a more of a early 2000s record than a today record, because I think today records sometimes there's too much computers and computer drums and not enough soul. And so I really was interested in continuing that. But then he also, brought Gwen forward. He also added a lot of like synth and atmosphere stuff. And then he took some creative license on, like, for example, our cover of Summertime Sadness, there's a pause before the first chorus. He just did that on his own and sent it to us. And we were just like, oh my God, that's amazing. So he really brought a lot to the table, and we would love to work with him, again, moving forward. It just turned out to be the right relationship at the right time.
And will we hear John and Jason on the album, or is the Heretics and Lullabies recorded by you and Gwyn?
We recorded the vocals, guitars, bass, some synths, and then J-Man, Jason Popson. We recorded that at our studio at our house. And then Aaron and Shane just recorded the drums, but Aaron mixed and mastered everything on his own.
So there's no John and Jason on the album. They're only part of the FRAYLE's live lineup.
Oh, I see. No, so the drums on this record were played by a different John Morgan, who I played with in bands previous, and I always was hoping to work with him again, and just the stars aligned, and we got to work with John. But I played the bass and the guitar on the record. We do have a new bass player, Tim Long, who went with us to Europe and is going to be on our next North American tour that comes up in a few days. So I guess the lineup is sort of forming, but like John Morgan won't be able to go on tour with us, so we have another drummer, Alex, that's going with us. So it's kind of like a revolving whatever works for people. That's like the thing that we set up. The core writing is always me and Gwen. And then, as we tour and get busier, it's just about who can make the tour happen.
And what happened after Skin and Sorrow that Eric Patton Elliott left FRAYLE? Was it like something related to COVID?
Who?
Eric Patton Elliott.
Oh, Eric Pat. So Elliot left first. I think it was just he couldn't take the time off work to do like all the video shoots as we started getting busier. And I think that's really what Pat and Eric, it's the same thing. It's like we started to get busy and we'd have to go away for 3 weeks at a time. And when you have a real job, especially in the US, you only get about 2 weeks of personal time. And obviously they want to take that with their families. Their wives are going to be very upset with them if they just split with the band and then the kids and the wife are left high and dry. So it's just about like that difficult transition going from a band that struggles on the road to a band that you can have a salary doing, which we're still not there yet. So it's very hard and difficult to find people that have like remote jobs, just the right kind of job that they can work on the road and everything. So it was much more about that, I think, than anything else with Eric and Pat.
And you announced the working on the new material with a quote from Shimamanda Ngozi Adichie. So is she an author close to your heart, or did her work influence the lyrics on the album?
So I think it definitely influenced Summertime Sadness not Summer, I apologize, Walking Wounded. It's as a female walking amongst a man's world, it does kind of feel a bit oppressive at times. And that quote of hers specifically really struck a chord with me about how, we have to make ourselves smaller. Um, it definitely influenced that song at the very, very least. But I think as a female, it's just one of those things that you just carry in the back, and you don't always talk about it. But, I am a very strong feminist, and I don't think that there's any reason why anybody should be considered lesser than anybody else.
And you called the cover of the new album the culmination. So, what does this transformation mean, which we saw with each subsequent photo of the covers?
So we started off with The White Witch, which was the first EP that Sean and I released. And that cover kind of displays her with her mouth covered. She's being muzzled. I guess that, has a lot to do with feminism as well. And then we progressed to 1692, where she's a little beat up. She's on she's kneeling, she's looking for answers.
Sorry, I'm just getting this out of your mouth. I can
Thank
see
you.
it.
Skin and Sorrow, she's taking care of business and she's mourning, but she's not sorry. Like you can see on her face, she's not sorry. She's a little celebratory. This one is, she has ascended to, somewhat of a deity. And she's instilling blessings onto those that look upon her.
Yeah, and I don't think the culmination means the end.
No,
I just think it means that like she's really,
absolutely.
it's an ascension
Yeah,
because there's going to be more.
there will be more.
Yeah.
And there was a small error in the first pressing of the Heritage Lullabies. So, how many copies have the typo? And did you notice it right away or only after some time?
Oh no, after some time, we just realized this about a week ago. So I don't know how many copies they pressed, but every single one has that, every single CD. And I think it was my fault after digging in there. The cover layout was done by a friend of ours, Ron Kretsch, who did the text. It was definitely not his fault. It was Sean's fault for handing off the artwork that way. And then I also misspelled the drummer's name inside there. Also, every single video that we've done, the credits have a misspelling. I am not allowed to spell anymore. So, what our hope is that this first pressing with all these spelling errors would just be worth a lot more someday.
And the previous album was named Skin and Sorrow, the new Heretics and Lullabies. So is this some new tradition in naming FRAYLE albums or just a coincidence? Are these two albums connected?
Um, Not connected, really. I think it was just we were going back and forth. I wanted to call it Lullabies for Heretics. Um, but I think I got vetoed on that. But I think it kind of Heretics and Lullabies just kind of says a lot about who we are really. Like there's the heretical element, but there's also the lullaby part. So the raging against the machine and the lulling you to sleep part. So I think it's very indicative of who we are. Skin and Sorrow was just, sometimes I get things and they stick in my head, and this entire album concept has been stuck in my head since actually the last album, so maybe they are um, connected somehow. But Skin and Sorrow was just that idea of, after you've lost so much, all you have left, you feel like all you are, you're empty inside, and all you are is just skin and sorrow.
And your songs are powerful and atmospheric, but at the same time, like beautiful, delicate, and dreamlike. So, what elements must a composition have in order to be called a dark lullaby, or as you call yourself, lullaby of chaos?
Well, we always say, our music has to have two elements. It has to be heavy and it has to be creepy. So if we don't, if we're listening to something that we've written and it doesn't have one of those, then we kick it out. So I think those are the two big things that, we know that we need to have in a song. I think sometimes Sean decides that he wants to put all of the creepy responsibility on me. It's like, no, the song has to be creepy in and of itself, and then my vocals or whatever it can lend another element. But
Still don't fully believe that, but
he's still pushing that
yeah. It also a
agenda.
frail song is the result like now of us getting out of each other's way. Like I'll do the guitar and music thing stuff on my own, and then she'll come in after the fact and do her vocals, and we don't really get in each other's way. And the more we give each other freedom, the heavier and the more delicate it gets. It gets more extreme and more contrast as long as if we get out of each other's way. If we're trying to like collaborate too much, then it gets watered down and mudded. There's too many cooks in the kitchen, so we just do it separately, and then that's frail.
And Gwyn is singing in a very very different manner that many female vocalists, because you have a very calm, like a whispering voice, which suits for lullabies. So is it hard for in a concert to not get carried away by the emotions?
Oh, singing live is difficult for a number of reasons. I mean, these guys are loud, right? It's part of what the music is, so it's very difficult for me to hear myself. Um, so that part is difficult. There are some songs that I will not play live because I feel like I wouldn't be able to get through them. So Skin and Sorrow happens to be one of those songs. Perfect Wound. Um, and perhaps I haven't tried it yet, but perhaps Souvenirs of Your Betrayal coming up. I don't know if I'll be able to sing that one live. Some of the, that all of my lyrics are extremely personal, and some of them just still hit a little too close to home to be able to put that out there in a live setting where I can't walk away and cry for 10 minutes and come back. Um, so yeah, there definitely are some songs that I would avoid live.
My favorite song from the album is Monsters. So what can you tell us about this one?
Oh,
From
wait, monsters or demons?
Monsters.
From
Skin
1692?
No, from the new album.
Oh, that would probably be demons, I think.
Hold on, I will check.
Because Gwen says I'm a fucking
Yes,
monster,
yes,
but the
yes, yes.
song is
This
called
one. Yeah.
Demon. Yeah, okay.
So when we were recording that song, I was like, this is fucking awesome. And that was one of the, let me back up. A lot of times when I'm writing lyrics, it's a struggle, right? I'm trying to be able to say what I need to say, um, but make it eloquent and, rhyme. And it's kind of a struggle. This one was just, rolling and going. And then when I thought of I'm a fucking monster, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect because this is how you're, well, how sometimes my mind works, where I feel like I'm fighting demons and they're telling me I'm, you know, lazy or not worth it. And then no, I have to remember that I am stronger than any of these thoughts. I'm stronger than any of these demons. And, so I thought I'm a fucking monster. I can overcome all of this stuff. So that was definitely one of my songs where I was super excited about it after I wrote it. And
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? Like just how to overcome anything that's bothering you mentally is to be more powerful and maybe like name it, and whether it's anxiety or fear or insecurity and like that. If you name it Fred, then hey Fred, I'm going to be stronger than you. But I think it's much more fitting for Frail to call those demons and that she's a monster. So I think it's a pretty cool idea to empower yourself to overcome any mental struggles that you might have.
And why did you choose Summertime Sadness as a cover? Because, well, even in its original pop version, it's a song that carries this little hint of melancholy.
yeah, I mean, Lana is, to me, she's the queen of melancholy. Her voice just by itself carries so much sadness that it's very powerful. So to me, it was a natural choice. Whenever we decide that we want to do a cover, we usually pick a few and then we flesh them out and see, is this an option? And then we will demo the ones that we feel the strongest about. Um, there was a little bit, I think at the beginning, Sean was playing the opening a little too close to the original, and it just seemed too safe. So we talked about it, and he stripped everything. I mean, you can tell me.
Yeah. So I just muted everything except the drums and the vocals and played my guitar, not even thinking about what the original song sounded like. I just wanted to play something that kind of went along with what was happening. It's a total different key, different notes and everything like that. So that's how, it's one of the ways I guess we take songs apart when we cover them and try to make them our own and see how much change can we get away with. But sometimes you don't have to change it. Like the chorus, those notes are the same, but it's just so heavy. You don't realize sometimes that like not heavy songs actually have heavy notes behind them. And once we did that, and then Aaron put that pause in there, everything just fell into place. So we knew that that was the song, for us. And we did it in the same key as the Lana Del Rey. Like the music is different, but as far as the vocals, it's the same key and very similar tempo. So just in case Lana Del Rey happens to be in the same room and wants to get on stage with us, very easy for her to sing that song.
And Jason Popson, the vocalist for Mushroom Head,
Oh yeah.
adds an extra layer of vocals in the your new album. So will Jimin become a larger part of Frail's world, or was it just a guest appearance?
So we worked with him before on our first full length, because he's a good friend of ours, and we live in the same city, and it just happens to be that to us, I think he's one of the best yellers or growlers anywhere. And so to be able to work with him is just awesome. It's crazy to have him in the studio and just trying things out and just hear what's coming out of him, how aggressive it is. And he's just a great dude. So I think that like I would love to bring him on the road. I don't think we're there yet to be able to like support, more crew and people, but like it would be great to have him on the road and maybe involve him more because it is something that it's another itch to scratch, right? Like Gwen does her lullabies thing amazing, but having Popson underneath it sometimes brings out this aggression that feels great to me because it amplifies the song from like the chaos side of things. And so I would be all about, if we're able to make it work, bringing him out. And he probably feels the same. So I'd hope to maybe, hopefully it'll turn into that.
Yeah, I think it's that added juxtaposition of, it's just kind of who we are. So anytime that we can get him on a song, I'm super pumped.
Yeah, he's such a pro in videos too. Like he just looks at the camera and you're like, oh, it's pretty cool.
And you encouraged the band's female fans to come to the this year's Fails concert wearing old wedding dresses. So,
Yeah.
what was the response and what prize awaited them?
Well, we're not going to tell you what the prize is because it's a top secret. It is pretty special and something we had made just for the Sacrifice. And we have had people show up both in the US and in Europe in wedding dresses, which is not a small ask. It's a lot of work to go get that and, wear that to a show. But it's just great afterwards to hang out with them and take photos because it feels like almost like one of our videos has just come to life for a brief moment, like in the venue. So it's been pretty cool to see that. So we're excited to see it, progress. And we have a U.S. tour coming up that hopefully we'll see some more Sacrifice.
And on stage, you two create Frail, and in your private life, you're a couple. So, how do you separate your private life from your professional one? How do you
So
ensure that, for example, after an argument, you don't bring it on the stage?
Well, I think we do a good job publicly of like keeping because we do, we're a couple, we've been together for a while, so there is some bickering that happens in any relationship. And I think publicly we do a good job of like pressing pause on that. Gwen and I practice every single day. We rehearse with the band usually once a week. So those every single day practices sometimes can get a little
spicy.
yeah, get a little spicy. But I think we're just having so much fun with this, and it's not like because we get out of each other's way creatively, there's not a lot of animosity where I don't walk around being like, oh, she won this, conversation about what part goes in a song, and I'm mad at her for years now about that. Like, there's not really anything that creatively. In the relationship, there probably some baggage like that. But I think that just because we get out of each other's way and we realize how how to work with each other on this, and it's it's both it's a labor of love for both of us. So for the most part, it stays out of decision making. I think we respect each other. Um, but it's those, I think the practices, when we're alone, those practices. There's been a couple probably walkouts practices.
Yeah, but I think as well, like we're professional and this is something that we love and it's extremely important to the both of us. So I think we protect it at all costs. So anytime that, if we have to go on stage or shoot a video, we kind of put that in the background and do what we need to do.
And we both have owned our own businesses in the past. And
Businesses together.
yeah, and businesses together. So when you have your own business, you have a different perspective on getting the job done because you're only going to eat what you kill, so to speak. So when it comes to the band, we sort of take that real serious because you can't just be like, oh, and be drama because the business isn't going to move forward. So I think that that experience probably helps us a lot. I bet if like I didn't have my own business or you didn't, we might get into more of those arguments. But I think that we had to protect what was ours before we even met each other. So I think that changes the way you look at things sometimes.
Okay, so you had a few more interviews ahead of you, so we're coming to the end of this one. So the last question is for Sean, because looking through photos from this year performances, I couldn't help but notice a certain transformation. So when did you get this new tattoo?
Oh, this one?
This one.
Oh, this one. So we in Europe, we wear masks now on stage, which is super fun. It's awesome to turn into this character. But one of the things that we do is like paint our necks black, right? Like necks and wrists and things like that. And I thought like, what if I just get a tattoo and I don't have to like paint as much? Plus I really like the way that like it kind of extends a neck on a human. Like as a fashion designer, I like playing with proportions, and I think like a black neck is like a cool look. I didn't want to get a total black neck tattoo, but I was like, why not get a neck tattoo? So that was really it. I think that I just like the way that it looks, and it's a heptagram, which to me is like it's a symbol that we have a lot in our music, and it has like a lot of I guess different meanings for different people, but for me, it just means like I guess to be open to what is out there as far as like spirituality, artistically, creatively, personally, being a human, like always try to like grow a little bit more. And there's also like sort of a feminine energy, I guess, about it, which is a big part of like, I guess, my life. Like I'm not really like a macho dude. Although I could still save one if there was a fire, but
He talks about that all the time. About how if there's a fire,
I
I
could
would
carry
not,
her out.
but I wouldn't be able to carry him out. So he's very worried about
Yeah,
this.
and just last night she told me that she watched a video and that she thinks she can
I
do
think I
it.
can. I think I
So,
can do it
well,
now.
but I wanted her to try it, but we're gonna wait till after tour so she doesn't hurt her back because I feel like she can't do it. But anyway, so yeah, that's so it's just like I don't know, feels good, and I'm gonna keep doing some of this stuff because now I just like the way that it's almost like wearing a shirt that you like. Like it's the same kind of thing as like designing a piece of clothing and thinking, oh, this is cool. Like that's what I feel like the tattoos just make me feel good, I guess.
And this is all that I have prepared. So thank you for your time and have fun during the rest of the interviews.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
We
so
hope to
much. It was
see
nice talking to you. Yeah.
to be in Poland soon. And if we're back there, come see a show. Come say hello.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.